Mirpur was a town where silence ruled everything, especially at night when the streets emptied and even the wind seemed to disappear, leaving behind a stillness so deep it felt unnatural. Hasib had always ignored it until the night that silence answered him. It began with an old radio he found in his grandfather's storage room, covered in dust and nearly broken. After hours of fixing loose wires and adjusting stiff knobs, he finally brought it back to life. At first, it produced nothing but endless static, a dull and lifeless sound filling his room. Then, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the sound changed. The static shifted, sharpened, and slowly formed into something impossible, a voice. It was faint and distorted, as if struggling to reach through darkness, whispering, "You found it?" Hasib froze, unsure if he had imagined it. Gathering his courage, he asked softly, "Who's there?" The radio fell into sudden silence, as if the world itself had paused. Then it replied again, clearer this time, "You weren't supposed to..." A chill ran through him. He quickly turned the radio off, convincing himself it was just interference, some random signal. But the words stayed with him, repeating in his mind in a way that felt far too real. The next night, curiosity pulled him back. He sat in the dark, waiting as the clock ticked toward 2:17. When the moment came, the radio turned on by itself. Static filled the room instantly, louder and sharper than before. Then the voice returned without delay. "You came back." This time it felt aware, as if it recognized him. The air grew colder, and the shadows in the room seemed deeper. Suddenly, the radio display flickered to life, showing coordinates. Then came a whisper, "Come closer." But the voice no longer seemed to come from the radio. It felt as if it was right behind him. Hasib turned quickly, his heart pounding, but the room was empty. Still, the feeling of being watched did not leave. By morning, he tried to think logically. The coordinates pointed to an abandoned field outside town, a place long forgotten, where an old water facility had once stood. Against his better judgment, he decided to go. As soon as he arrived, the silence felt different, heavier, pressing into his ears like something alive. In the center of the field stood a broken concrete structure that led underground. As he stepped closer, the radio in his bag suddenly turned on again, blasting static into the open air. The voice whispered almost calmly, "You're here." The ground beneath his feet began to vibrate faintly. When he asked what the place was, the answer came slowly. "The place we learned to listen." The vibration grew stronger. Then a strange sound began to rise from deep below, layered whispers, overlapping and twisting together, into something that almost resembled language. Almost. The sound surrounded him, creeping into his mind until it began to form something clearer. Then, all at once, it spoke his name, not from one direction, but from everywhere. Fear took over. Hasib ran without looking back, leaving the field behind. He did not stop until he reached his home. The moment he shut the door, the sound stopped completely. Silence returned, but it no longer felt empty. It felt occupied. That night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., every device in his room turned on at once. The lights flickered, his phone lit up, his laptop screen glowed, and the old radio filled the room with loud static. But beneath the noise, there were voices, many voices, perfectly synchronized, speaking together in a cold and steady tone. "We are listening now." In that moment, Hasib understood the truth. He had not been contacted. He had not been chosen. He had simply listened. And by listening, he had allowed something else to learn how to listen back, something that was no longer far away, waiting.